Hello, everyone. We are now live talking, kicking off one more talking. Let's talk about, right? Thank you very much for your participation, whether you are watching it live or later in the video recorded. Today, we'll be talking about extraphysical reurbanization, the natural evolutionary movement with the purpose of sanitizing the intraphysical world. But first and foremost, let's say something here. Don't believe in anything that we say here in our debate. Have your own experience, right? To talk about reurbanization, let me introduce you, our team today. Karina, could you please introduce yourself?
Hello, hi Mario. Hello everyone. Thanks for having me here. I am Karina Eliachar. I've been a volunteer of Conscientiology since 2007. It's been quite a while now. And currently I am living in Portugal for a master in psychology. I work with psychology. And I used to live in Rio and used to volunteer in Rio de Janeiro in ASSIPI with you guys, with Mario and João as well in Rio. And now in the online version with everybody from ASSIPI.
Great. João Saravia is with here today.
Hello, Mario. Hello, Karina. It's great to be here with you again. Thanks for the invitation once again. So my name is João Saravia. I have been in touch with Conscientiology since 2014. I have been volunteering since 2017, actually in the branch in Rio de Janeiro where Karina was the lead, and she very kindly invited me to join the volunteer group there. Now with all these pandemic and these things, we do a lot of online activities, and I'm glad to be able to join and well have this now international team joining in activities, which is very nice. So that's it for the moment. Thank you.
Very nice. And today we have a very special guest, right? Jacqueline Cohen from ASSIPI, Interassistential Services for the Internationalization of Conscientiology. Thank you very much, Jacqueline, for saying yes to participate in our debate today. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here participating in this live with you guys and talking about this very interesting topic. My name's Jacqueline Cowan. I'm Australian. I lived there for most of my life, and I found out about Conscientiology there as well. I was a volunteer there, and in 2014 I moved to Foz, Brazil, where I'm currently now, and to be closer to the center of Conscientiology. And I'm, as you pointed out, I'm a volunteer of ASSIPI.
Thank you for your presence today, Jacqueline. But Jacqueline talked about conscientiology. So let's start by saying that this debate is based on conscientiology and the consciential paradigm, right? For the newcomers, conscientiology is a neuroscience, right, that studies the consciousness as a whole, right? Consciousness is me, is you, it's each one of us. And in everyone in intraphysical and extraphysical dimensions, right? And the consciential paradigm is the paradigm that we use to study this, the consciousness in the multidimensional scope, right? We have basically 7 pillars to study the consciousness, right? The bioenergies, the multidimensionality, right? The pluriessentiality, self-research, cosmoethics, universalism, and wholesome. We'll be talking about some of them today, right? To ground our debate and for you to understand better if you are a newcomer, right? So, and also, Conscientiology has more than 20.
Talk about yourself for us. You didn't introduce yourself, so I know.
Oh, I should. Yes, I should introduce myself. I start talking about Conscientiology and not introducing myself. All right. Okay. So I've been with Conscientiology since a long time ago. I first met the ideas of Conscientiology in 1991, but actually started doing courses. And I started volunteering by 2007, if I'm not wrong, and became a teacher soon after that. And I've been with ASSIPI since 2018. Of course, Karina also invited me to come. Love you, because actually I found here the best place according to my priorities, which is to develop the parapsychism. So our institution is specialized in the study and the research of parapsychism. And I've been here since 2018. Okay, so basically this is what I have to say. I was going to talk about ASSIPI, right? ASSIPI is specialized in the study and the research of the parapsychism as one of the more than 20 consciential-centric institutions, right? And the ASSIPI in English project is a project focused on promoting the ideas of conscientiology worldwide. Now let's go for our introduction. So now we're back. Okay, look, let's start our topic today, right? Extra-physical reurbanization. But I would like to start by explaining, well, what is urbanization? So let's start with urbanization, then we go to extra-physical reurbanization, people. Karina, João, Jacqueline.
Okay, I can start, and then João and Jacqueline can help me. When we talk about urbanization or intraphysical, we start with the intraphysical urbanization. We are changing the environments for better. So when we have a new construction, we can destroy a previous one and put a better one in place. When we have like a place that is no longer being used, and we make I don't know how to say, restore. Can we say that? Can you help me? Restaurar, restore, yes.
Restore, to restore, yeah.
Yeah, when we change the objects, we make we clean the space. So we are working with urbanization, and this is, we're talking in the intraphysical, right? And then we can expand to the energies of the environment, but when we make the place better in the intraphysical dimension, we are improving also the quality of the environment, and that's something we should be aware of.
I guess I can mention something now just to complement what Karina, you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, if we're talking about, for example, a single space, or we're talking about like cities or larger areas, yeah, you're improving the quality of the life through the built form, the urban space, right? And I guess, yeah, it's you're making them attractive. You know, you're making them spaces where people want to visit, want to be there. They're pleasant, attractive spaces. So, for example, we see sometimes through like in certain areas of the city, you have areas which are like not really visited. They're kind of seen as dead zones or places, you know, people don't want to be there, and different types of activities like criminal activities and things that start to occur there. And sometimes through this urbanization, you can transform these spaces and make them spaces where people want to go there. And in that case, you actually improve the environment and also the types of activities that are performed there. So it can have a very positive effect on people, right?
Wonderful. Yeah. Just adding to that, I was listening to you and thinking, I don't know, ways to make it tangible, to understand these ideas. And I think I was doing that for myself and reflecting on it. And what I love about these talks is that it makes me start to think about the topic myself and see, okay, but what is my experience? What are my ideas in related to what has been said? And listening to you, I was having the ideas of there's the reurbanization that you can talk about architecture and infrastructure, and as Karina and you, Jacqueline, were saying, the difference that you make of how you build it in a city. But there's also, and that was kind of what you were saying. Also, it came to my mind is what about the ideas and the transformation of the energies and the ideas of people, because sometimes those constructions that were there that we want to transform them into something better on this reurbanization, we see that they're no longer as valuable maybe as they were in the past, but there was a point in which they were needed and maybe they were the transformation at the time. And we can talk about things that are built that were useful at that time, and they were the new thing that had to be done. Now they're no longer worth what they're not needed anymore, and we can transform that into something new. And I think the ideas are the same thing, right? There was a way of thinking that was valid for a certain moment, and it was very useful, and that was the good transformation. And now they're no longer useful anymore. And how can we have and introduce new ideas, new ways of thinking? And just by thinking, we know that we transform the energies and the environment around us. So I think that's part of the transformation itself. So just wanted to share those insights that I had while listening to you.
And it's very important, the idea of coming from the urbanization that we usually have in cities, right? It's trying to improve the quality of people, right? Housing, as Jacqueline said. But now when we think about the extra physical urbanization, actually we start to think, how can it be, how it works? So these are some questions, and I would like to, for the newcomers, right, that are watching us at this moment, may be a bit boggled about this idea. Let's just clarify that we are talking about multidimensionality, right? That we live in a multidimensional reality, right? And we also have extra-physical communities, not only here in the extra-physical reality, but also in extra-physical realities. Let's just go over this concept of pluripotentiality, right? Seriality, multidimensionality, and so on, so that people can build up a better idea of what we are talking about.
Okay, I can start and then you help me, guys. About the multiple lives is a pillar of the paradigm, a consciential paradigm that we study, that we don't have only this life, we have several lives. This is only a part of what we are doing here. We live and we die several times, and we have new bodies, new intraphysical bodies, each time we come back to this dimension. And when we die, we just discard this physical body, the soma, we call it soma, and some people call it soul or spirit. We are still living. We don't breathe the same air, but we are living in another dimension. And we are manifesting ourselves through the psychosoma, that some philosophies call it the soul. So it's better to understand. And many people don't know they are dead. They still believe they are living in the intraphysical dimension because they are not aware of the multiple dimensions. They are not aware of the psychosoma, of that the soma is different from the psychosoma. They think they are all the same. So when they discard the intraphysical body, they stay attached to it. So they stay attached to this dimension, and they are influencing this dimension through their thoughts, their sentiments, their energy that we call the false scenes. So we have also this energetic influence, this false scenic influence in the environment. So that's why it's so important to clean intraphysical and also extraphysical, the environment, so people can learn that they change a dimension. They don't need to be attached to this dimension anymore. They can move forward with their lives. And this helps us clean the atmosphere of the places. So I think I'll give an example. Maybe it will clarify of what João just said about the ideas. For instance, last week I visited a city here in Portugal. I went to Coimbra. And I was feeling very sick. I was, wow, what's going on here? I've been to this place like 3 times before, and I didn't feel that bad. And when I left the city, I started feeling, oh, it's okay. The energy is lighter. I feel happy again. But when I was there, it was down. I was having like butterflies in my stomach. I went to research the history. What was going on here? The city is very beautiful. It has plumbing, light, water, everything that a society needs to have like a healthy life. But something's very odd in this city. So we research who used to live here, what kind of people, what kind of ideas were in this city. Although now it's a university city, many people go there from all over the world to study, which is very good. It helps change the environment with new thoughts and new ideas. But sometimes it takes lots and lots of years to dissipate the energy, the remaining energies that stay there, and also the people connected to the city. And it was a center of the Inquisition, the religious Inquisition, and many Jews were expelled or sentenced to death. And I have a Jewish past. So when I go there, something triggers in myself, that I'm not feeling very well. So it's a very good tool for self-research as well. What is my connection with these ideas, and why it sometimes triggers some feelings and I don't feel very well, and also how can I help to clean the place as well, and with my new thoughts, my new version of me, maybe enlighten the people that are still there suffering these effects of the Inquisition, for example. So one thing, they destroyed the square where people were sentenced. They built a museum. It's good because people can visit and see with new ideas, like John said, the atrocities. In the past, it was very recognized by society. The practice were everybody was like, most of the people were supportive of these initiatives, and nowadays we are against it. So we changed the idea, showing what is right, what is wrong. So this is how the societies and the energies changes. I leave it to you to help me.
It's very interesting what you're saying, Karina, because the environment, it can look beautiful, but underlying it, if we're talking about multidimensional reality, we can't just talk about physical appearance. We need to go, and see the energies and the history, and also the extra-physical consciousnesses, or the spirits that, perhaps died, or, we call, went through the soma, deactivation of the physical body, the soma, and are there and still, it's one thing is positive. When you change the environment, it means that those consciousnesses that are attached to those places can have an opportunity to, move on. But, as you said, there's still those gravitating energies that are there in the environment. And to a certain extent, perhaps it can attract some consciousnesses there as well. So it's, but it's interesting, this multi-layer understanding of an environment.
John, would you like to say something?
Go ahead, Mario. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's just to remind that actually this movement started in the beginning of the last century, actually. And then we have to consider that we are living in a hospital planet, as we say, right? Consider that roughly 96% of people don't have any idea about the existence of other lives or other dimensions and so on. So there are still lots of ignorance in terms of this kind of information. And actually, when we die, it's not different. So that's the reason why we have so many consciousness, right? Extra-physical consciousnesses trapped in dimensions with lower quality of energies, which we call baratosphere. So they are trapped there. Sometimes they've been trapped there for centuries, right? And now with this movement, they are given a new chance to come, right, to life and coexistence actually with others in an attempt to sanitize exactly the baratosphere, to clean actually the energies of this baratosphere. Should we go through it a bit? If we have had an experience in terms of baratosphere, because it's important for us to from this moment on, talk about our own responsibility in this process, right? Because of course it's a process developed and conducted by Homo sapiens serenissimus, right? But also we have our responsibility by going there in the baratosphere and dealing with our own group karma, right? With our own consciences. That consciences we've been dealing with, or we still have something to reconcile. So let's now talk about our own responsibility in this process, shall we?
Well, while you were talking, Mario, I was thinking, perhaps I'm not sure if it was clear to people that the barotrosphere, first of all, like,
yes,
what is this place, we talk about. And in the extra-physical dimension, you have these environments which are, it's different to the intraphysical dimension where you have solid places and, you build things and all that. You have the solid physical material or matter. In the extra-physical dimension, objects or structures are formed through what we call morphothocenes or thought forms. And it's based on the thocenes, the thoughts, emotions, energies of those consciousnesses who reside there. And in the barotrosphere, the average quality of thoughts, thocenes, right, is of a more pathological, unhealthy state. So you have these environments which are, people describe them. People have had experiences there. Personally, I haven't had experience like into a stereotypical, typical barotrosphere environment, which is, dark and somber. And people say they have difficulty in moving, as compared to more healthy, advanced extra-physical community, which, you'd be able to fly, you feel lighter, and the quality of the energies is better. But in this barotrosphere, it's and so when consciousnesses are reborn, they actually feel they're in a better place as compared to previously in the barotrosphere, even though they don't remember what happened. But I guess coming back to you were saying whether we've had experiences, I do remember having an experience where I was in like a place which had a very industrial feel, very, concrete and no, there was just nothing. It's just, really a concrete place. And there were some people that I knew, and they had created they had started to infiltrate this place and create their own spaces. And you were seeing like plants and greenery starting to emerge in this kind of concrete environment. And for me, the idea that I had was kind of like they were transforming these spaces through maybe their thoughtsanity, through their assistance, the energies, and transforming extra physically this landscape, this more barren, sterile kind of place. And so I kind of see it as that way, like each of us have that possibility, that opportunity to, through the quality of our own thought scenes, improving ourselves, like what you were saying, Mario, improving, because we all come with our own baggage from the past, and we all have our tendencies and our connections with some elements in the barotrosphere, and we're in this process of evolving, trying to improve ourselves, so that we're able to assist more than kind of connect and with the barotrosphere. So yeah, but it's interesting.
Joel, maybe we should. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to share some things on the reflections also that come to mind while I'm listening to you. As once I was there's a website where they are just recording interviews with people that had near-death experiences to try to track what is it that experience. And I mean, even if people don't know about multiple lives or reincarnation or whatever, it's like it's a real experience, and from a psychological point of view, you have to kind of try to track what that is, right? And they're kind of doing that experiment. And so usually there's of course each one has their own individual experience, but there are some similarities of, okay, I went through a tunnel and there was this bright light, and then I saw family members and people that I loved, and they received me very well, and there were these helpers that were talking to me, and then I was given the chance to come back or maybe not. And so there's always these types of experiences that people have in common. And one thing that really draw my attention was this one experience that I kind of saw, that this guy was saying that, well, I see people talking about that, but my experience was completely different. And I think he was in coma like for 2 weeks. And for him, it was a nightmare. And he was walking, and it was always the same day, and he could not sleep. And he was going through villages which were completely destroyed. And people were kind of haunting him all the time until he finally got out of the coma, and that was his experience. And it says, why is it that I don't have that story that I hear people telling? And okay, so I'm not going to judge what happened or not. It's just I see him much more going through these types of places that need some reurbanization, let's say, and that could be an experience, but that's not my experience, right? So I'm just sharing something that I saw that kind of made me kind of try to make it tangible of what are these communities, extra physical communities that could be out there. One other thing that I try to see is like usually my parapsychism or my extrasensory perception comes much more through the ideas, right? So I don't remember going to a community, extraphysical community, and seeing what was happening there. But anyway, we are in an intraphysical where there's lots of things happening, right? And I tried to see these sensations, like the one that Karina was sharing, which is, okay, I'm not feeling very good here in this community that I'm right now, or this group of people that I am having to live with for some time, and what is it here that's happening? And I always try to put myself in a way of, okay, there might be some reurbanization needed that I can contribute to doing it, right? I can be a helper in that. And there might be some reurbanization to be done, which I am one to be helped. And I'm in a point where I need some help to well, transform it and get to in a better shape in something. And that sensation of not feeling good could be either one way or the other. So I try to consciously think, hey, am I a helper here, or am someone that has to change his mind and be transformed? Am I being helped? And most of the times what I realize is that it's both, right? Usually when there's help to be done, there's all levels of helpers, and you might be at some point a helper, but you might be in some point someone to be helped as well. And I try to identify, okay, so who is my helper here, and who am I helping, and trying to identify, because the transformation is all around. It's not that we are very good because we're feeling good. Maybe you're feeling good just because you resonate to the place, but the place really is not the best, right? It could be better. So there's some change to be done. And just to close that, I remember reading something that it's very curious, because I visited Coimbra, and I read that thing there. It was in the wall of the university. It was like an expo, and this was part of the expo, so it's probably not there anymore. And it said, it was written in Portuguese, but the translation would be, don't you understand? We are gardeners, we're not flowers. And that changed me a lot, because it said, okay, it's not that, I need like everything to be nice in my life and I'm entitled to these things. Wait, come on. Maybe you're the gardener and you are the one that has to help as well. But to be able to help, you need to be helped as well. So the gardener needs to eat well, to be feeling good, to feel respected, right? So the gardener can do their work. So yeah, just wrapping up with that idea. It's just, I always try to identify, okay, what is it that when I'm not feeling good and I am with that sensation, is it because I need to be helped and I need to transform something in myself, or am I helping, or is it both? And what is it, the work to be done?
Karina would like to add something, or okay?
Yes, I'd like to. Yeah, just taking that example, and when you talk about group karma and how we can help people from our pasts, I think like this example, when we visit a city, we can find people from our past, some reincarnated, some with physical body, and many that are still hanging there in the extra physical dimension. So when we come back, some people recognize us, and it's like, oh, Karina's doing much better, or no, Karina's doing worse. Let's help her. Or in this case, I think we can help people that are stuck there for maybe 300 years in the same feelings, in the same pattern of false scenes. And now we are different because we somehow managed to move on. We still need to be moving on. We still need help and such, but we are always capable of helping people that are like worse than us. We have this same conscientiology that the less sick helps the more sick, something like that. I don't know if in English is the same, but we can be gardeners to the sick flowers, something like that, and we all can help each other. And this is something I was thinking. Maybe I was not lucid. I just had a bad feeling that in other times I visit, I didn't feel it. Maybe because I wasn't ready for it, or I wasn't open for the feelings. And I still have not the whole idea, but that's very important to me as well. So I can understand my past. I can understand why I wasn't able to hold on more. And now I feel the need to come back there and help more because there's some connection there. I need to figure out what is that and how can I improve that environment, intraphysical and extraphysical as well. And I think it's a good posture to have everywhere we go, every place we visit, we see the strengths and we see also the weakness and how we can contribute to the strengths and how we can help the weakness, and also how can we improve ourselves. So we are always, it's a two-way flow, I think.
Yeah, it's important to mention that the reurbanization process is intensifying, as the years go by. I was watching the other day something, an interview with Professor Vieira, and he was saying that the world population increased due to reurbanization. It means more and more consciousness coming from those communities, extra-physical communities with lower quality of energies, right? They were coming to the planet, to interphysical reality, and the population in the world was increasing, and this is so increasing. And one thing that we have to have as evidence of this is the increase of pathologies in the world, right? The increase of atrocities, crimes, lots of social problems, right? So it's really a tough time that we are going through, especially at this moment with after pandemic, after a war, right? And then we can see that, and then we have to be at the same time, we have to understand the process and trying to help it, right? Which is not an easy thing, considering that most of people are not aware of this process, right? So it's really hard to deal with. What do you have to say about this? What we are eyewitnessing, Jacqueline?
Yeah, no, it's very interesting what you were saying, because you were explaining a little bit about this, this large scale kind of process that's happening, this reurbanization process, which I think it's interesting for people to understand a little bit better, like, this great surge in the population. Where did these people come from, especially after the Second World War? Like, the population is like an exponential growth, and it's going to continue growing at a very strong pace. And so this understanding that these consciousnesses in the that came from the barotrosphere and these kind of communities, they're being reborn, and that the environment there, their home, where they came from in the extra-physical dimension, is being cleaned, and and through this cleaning process there was this process where these consciousness were taken from these environments, degraded extra-physical environments, and then reborn. So yeah, that whole process is very interesting. But if we look at the intraphysical dimension, we might think that if we're not looking at it from a multi-dimensional point of view, we may think, the planet's getting worse, things are, as you said, with the crime and the and all sorts of problems, and people with lots of mental issues and things like that, and the rise of slums and poverty and all these things, right? These urban issues that we see. And if we understand that it's just this natural process that's happening, where these consciousness are coming to this planet to have this opportunity to recycle, to improve themselves, by having being reborn and having a life, whereas before they may have spent centuries, even millennia, in the extra-physical dimension, in a space which was just reinforcing their thought sanity, their thought patterns. And here, with life, with change, and and everything that a life involves, they're having this opportunity to interact with consciousnesses of different evolutionary levels and all that. But I guess, we see many different signals, I guess, of, in the intraphysical environment on this planet, right, of this extraphysical reurbanization process. But yeah, I guess yeah, for me it's like you just have to watch the news, right? And then you'll get to see, you know, I get a glimpse in one day of, you know, all the issues. I mean, for example, just in the United States, they have, you know, the number of increase of children who go into schools and, you know, perform, you know, the mass killings or of their fellow students, and this is happening more and more frequently. And for me, this is an example of these types of consciousnesses, you know, that are coming and you know, performing these kind of acts. So, but the whole idea is that things will get better. You know, it's needed for this process to occur, but at the same time, it's you know, it's this process that will occur, and at some point it will level out more. But yeah, we need to be patient.
And the great question is, what is my role? So what I'm supposed to do, right, to make this planet better, right, Karina? So maybe we should let's I'd like you to talk about this, the importance, right, of this essential work, right, that each one of us should be doing to improve, to help in this reurbanization process.
Yes, I think we are all mini pieces. We are working, everyone together, but small pieces working together make a maxi mechanism. That's something like we call. And the Homo sapiens serenissimus, like, is the coordinator of this work. And they need our energies. The extra physical helpers need our how can I say, energy that is not very subtle.
Dense energy, yeah.
Dense energy. Thanks, Jacqueline. They need our dense energy to make this kind of assistance, to change the energies from the environments. So if we have better foreseeings, if we are more aware of what we need to do as an individual, we can help the helpers perform a better job. So, and when we work in group, it's much better because we can gather lots of energies towards a main goal. And since we are talking about the reurbanization, it's also regarding the clarification task, where we explain people what's going on, the intraphysical and also extraphysical people that no longer have the bodies. We can work through the personal energetic task as well. And sometimes we are in a place, in a foreign country, and we need somebody that thinks different. And I was thinking now about João. So maybe we don't have like an structure for lectures, for people that we can talk to, but we are like a mini piece in that environment, working with helpers to help people from that environment. Because when we are immersed in the same culture, sometimes it's difficult to think different. And we need a foreigner that has, Jacqueline can see this as well, since you come from another country, and I'm living this now as well. We have some differences, so we can learn from the culture that we are, and also we can teach, because some things we think different. And I think in the extra physical is the same with the penta, the personal energetic task, when we are in a different environment with our energies to help with another pattern of thoughts.
All right. We have an expression in Conscientiology, which is cons health. What does it mean? It means a consciousness reurbanized, right? Which means those consciousnesses that are coming from the more pathological communities. But we have the opposite of it, which is the reurbanizer, right? And let's talk a bit now about the reurbanizer profile, right? As we started talking about this, you know, the profile of the existential consciousness, or the existential intention we might have towards this moment, right? João, should we pay more attention to those who we are already able to help, right, as our creditors, as our extra-physical group karma, and so forth? What we have to say about it?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. So, how do we identify someone that might have come from these extraphysical communities that need to be reurbanized and things like that? So, I think it I think the big difficulty, at least the one that I have, is really understanding. Okay, what is it that I see as a good behavior, or a good, or what do I label as good, and things should be brought to that stage, just because this is my culture, this is my way of thinking, that's how I was raised in this life, and I label these things are good, but maybe I'm doing lots of things that are not really good at all. I just think that they're common, right? And then okay, and when we start living in different cultures and things like that, we kind of label these. Oh, this is right, this is wrong, this is good, this is bad. But you're labeling against your way of thinking, right? And your way of thinking is not the only one viable, right? So I first try to do these things of okay, this is not how I like it to be, but I understand it works, and everybody's having a good life living that way. So let's not touch on that. And I may not be a good influence if I try to kind of want to change it. I maybe can show the way that I think, and why I would like things to be different, why I'm used to being different, and that might build into a conversation which I am the one to change and not the others, right? Because I'm learning something there. So that's one thing that I try to always look, okay, because if you just try to impose what you think is right and good, you might be an oppressor, and you are the one that is doing harm, not good. Okay, that being said, there's one thing of okay, some things I think are universally with a need of change. Like whenever I see like huge violence, for example, or clearly huge oppression and trying to control by force, or trying to impose ideas which you see that are not good for the whole group. So whenever I see this type of behavior, which is very oppressive, very violent, and violent, it could be physical violence, but it could be also violence in terms of a way of speaking, of the energy that the person brings. And I think, okay, I think this is kind of universally not good. It's just not a way of thinking, and things like that. So I try to identify really and that could be very subtle, right? It could be a person that, in I don't know, international standards, is like, oh, the good level of education, very polite in a way of leading, but if you actually see the energies that come from the attitudes and the end, what that person does, it's not good at all, right? And okay, so maybe that's the person that needs help, needs more sharing of new ideas, and maybe trying to change a way of thinking, or things like that. And maybe I could be a one to help. So that's more around in terms of group karma. I think we are always in a group where we're in need of a lot of help, especially when we're growing up. We really need help from everybody, and there's a point where you're independent and you can have your own ideas about things, and you start to identify who in your family you're more in needing of sharing ideas, maybe more needing in help in many layers, not only ideas, but really helping to making their life better because they're in need. And yeah, and I think that this is very. I have been through some situations where I see that I don't like to be in a situation where I have to be in touch with this things where the environment that is around, the things that these people are doing and stuff like that. But it's my family, right? And what is my role here? Why did I end up in this group? And then when I identify, okay, I believe at least that I'm more lucid And as Karina was saying, the one that is less sick is the one that helps the who are more sick. Say, okay, so from a multidimensional perspective, maybe I'm here because I'm the one that can help, right? And that changes a bit way to deal with the situations and things. And you say, okay, maybe I'm not happy to have to deal with this situation, but I'm the one that can help, and for some reason I'm in here, and let's do the best I can, and maybe draw the line of what is help and assistance, and maybe what is kind of people are in a point of disrespecting you. So I try to draw that line. Okay, I can help until here. If I do more than this, then I think I'm being disrespected in myself, and I would not like to go far there. And I think on the process we change a lot, so that limit goes here and there depending on the situation that we are, depending on how we understand the way that the other people think. And by doing that, it's a process, huh? It takes years and years and years and decades, but yeah, I think
Yeah.
I share the idea, and I'll leave it there.
That's that. I think that there is the necessity, right, that we practice more empathy, right, to understand the whole process going on. Okay, before continue, we have just 9 minutes left. I'd like to advertise. We have some events coming up, which the first one is Nate Lazaro, the instructor Nate Lazaro, is giving a course called Theory and Practice of Polychromality, right? It's a very interesting course, right? The objective is to improve your interconsciential relationships and develop your consciential skills towards diversity, right? It will have a simultaneous interpretation into English and Spanish. And among the course highlights, I would say that she'll be talking about theories with theory and practice and exemplariness, ergokarmology, group karmology, polykarmology, holokarmology, and polykarmic actions. The course will take place in June 18th on Saturday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. For registration, just go to the ASSIPI website, assipi.org/LOSHA, right? And the next event, I would like Jacqueline Cohen to advertise, please.
Okay, thanks, Mario. Yeah, this is an international event that's happening from the 12th to the 14th of August. So it's an event, 3 days of activities, really focused on, the main theme is universalism. And we have many different activities for all different levels, really with this, focus on attracting people that, because it's in English, you can see, yes, the event schedule, great. And for example, we're going to be promoting the books that have been translated into English, Spanish, and Romanian and also we have the publication of the journal and some other activities, a workshop on universalism and debates to talk about different topics related to universalism. So I think it'll be very interesting, and invite you to all participate. And if you have any questions or want more information, you can just visit our website below.
And I have to highlight the excellent work that ASSIPI has been doing to spread out their conscientiology all over the world with lots of events. If you want to watch these videos, you should go to the ASSIPI YouTube channel. Could you tell people, Jacqueline, how they can access the videos of ASSIPI?
Yes. So if you just go on YouTube, I think it's if you put Isaac Cons in the search on YouTube, you'll come up with our channel, and you have the option of subscribing, and so you can receive all the new videos. But it's just like a lot of different videos on different topics, all in English, also Spanish. And so, that's the idea, to really connect with people, intermissivists, or people from around the world who speak, different languages. English, of course, is the language that we can really reach the most people. So we use that as the main language. But
Very good. I have to congratulate you for the work you've been doing to spread out the Conscientiology all over the world. That's been fantastic. And I would like to, we have just 5 minutes to finish this conversation. And we have to mention something which is, for me, is very important as what we can do, right, in helping the extraphysical team in this process of reurbanization. Karina, let's talk about the importance of Penta.
Okay, it's a work that we do together with the helpers, and we can send our energy to people that are needing. And sometimes we don't have even the clarity of where the energy needs to go. We are a mini piece. We are guided by the helpers that are more lucid and have a broader view of the context. So they know who needs more help and what kind of help as well. And sometimes even ourselves, we get the help that we need, not the help that we want. Sometimes things don't go our way, and it's for the best, and we don't have this kind of awareness yet. And also regarding the Penta work, I was talking about the outsiders, how sometimes we are in the middle of the conflicts of our questions with our families or countries, and we cannot see clearer. And sometimes someone comes from the outside and see the whole picture and can give us some very good insights. So it was saying about the exchange that helps everybody. So we get help, and we also can help when we are outside the situation. And also the lucid projections help us in this kind of aspect when we leave the body and have this larger picture. And also when we leave our cities, our family for a while, or even the country, we can understand some things clearer. And we also can bring our point of view to the places we are visiting. And I think the helpers also use this different energy to help the different cultures we are within, because we are not so contaminated, let's say. It's not the best word, but we have this kind of, we are more, how can I say, exempt with that.
We can be an example. Yeah.
Unbiased, yes.
Unbiased.
Unbiased, yes. Yes, that's it.
Very nice. Okay, we still have 3 minutes, so let's go for our final considerations. Mr. John.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to thank you in this short final considerations that we have here. Thank you again. I think I really enjoy thinking about the topics and thinking it makes me reflect on what are my ideas about it. So in the end, it's have your own experiences, right? Absorb what is written in there that other people shared, and how do you interpret and how do you experience it. So yeah, thank you for having that opportunity and for learning from all of you that were here. That's it. See you next time.
Jacqueline.
Thank you very much for this opportunity to be here talking about this topic with all of you guys. It's been very interesting and nice. I guess my last comments would be, the reurbanization, it's, this change in the environment, but it starts with the thought scenes of the individual, our ability to change ourselves, because that's what evolution's about. Each person taking on that responsibility to make those changes through our thought scenes, to do the recycling, to, improve ourselves. And so we can take more of an active part in this greater reurbanization process. So thank you.
Karina?
I also like to thank for this opportunity for this debate. And I totally agree with Jacqueline that reurbanization starts within ourselves. And then if we improve our thoughts and our environments, it will help change little by little, the whole world, the whole environment. It's a step by step, takes a lot of time, but we have to start somewhere. So the best place to start is in our consciousness. Yeah.
Yes, that's very important. The importance of the substantial work, right? With in our everyday life. So we have to think essentially, which is really makes a difference, right? Interacting with people. I'd like to thank so much our monitors, Renata Machado and Talita Yamamoto, who are behind the scenes, right, making this event possible. The next Let's Talk will be in June 26th, and we'll be talking about, Karina, we'll be talking about energetic cleaning, right? And just telling you beforehand that Karina will be giving a course entirely held in English, right? About the energetic, the cleaning of the environment, right? I forgot the name of the course.
Yes.
What's your course about?
Energies from the environment. Yes.
That's right, Karina.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was with the topic of the Let's Talk, which is energetic cleaning, which is which the topic has to do with your course, right? So Karina's course will take place in July, and the Let's Talk will be also about this topic. So I thank you very much for your participation today, and I hope to see you on the next Let's Talk. Bye-bye.